What's my normal voice like? Ah, yes, this. That was how she knew he could teleport and zip things around without touching them. It's italicized, so I emphasized it. I think it's a requirement that all Undertale fics use the word phalanges at some point. Nod, nod. Nod, nod. Nod, nod. Noot, noot! Why is my mouth so sticky? Frisk jerked a sheet of paper from the stack on the... Frick! God damn, what's a kid doing in there? Being beaten! This seemed to be typical for her, as long... Frick! He was relieved and disappointed that she kept the veal... Frick the veal! Damn it! God damn it. Hey! Hey guys, how's it going? How long have you been listening? Because I wasn't paying attention if anybody joined the channel. Have you been hearing me do the voices for Frisk and Sans?
I'll rise up in a minute. Bring your dusty back from a thing. That's it, Holiness decided to save it. Flame must have figured the people are in the lab.
So he spent most of his... Frick. Being High Priestess sucks. How long you been at it?
3 years. The last Thea was assassinated, and they had to find a replacement as fast as possible.
A human strong enough to block a boss monster's focused attack had... Wait, okay. Oh, that's not even my Mickey Mouse. I can do a better Mickey Mouse impression than that. Ho-ho! 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 Cookie monster.
My name's Mickey Mouse. Ho-ho! Elmo would like one chalupa. Elmo will take your souls. Oh, Elmo loves Songfell.
The problem was, she was good at... Oh, frick, I messed it up.
Nah, it sucks to be you. Anyway, you can get out of it.
Well, she mumbled, eyes still closed.
I can die or marry or go back to the convent and become the Mother Superior, which would also be until I die. The Feast of All Souls is next week. That's when the last High Priestess was murdered.
Something prickled up Sans' spine.
You spent all your time doing church stuff, kissing babies, and healing puppies or whatever. Why the hell would anyone want to kill you?
We don't even need Shattuck anymore, Icky. I can just do his voice.
Cookie. Frisk want cookie. Frisk. Cookie. What, do some children...
Wait, frick.
I'm illegitimate. My father never married my mother, and our life was bad. Very hard. For a long time. He was a very busy man, but he only has one legitimate heir. After his second wife died, he started tracking down his children born out of wedlock, and it's an open secret that he'll leave each of us a large amount after he passes.
And whoever's left gets a bigger piece of the pie?
As far as I know, my dad's a dickhole, and there are only 6 of us left, including I was gonna say prince, but you don't know that yet, so I'm gonna say his heir.
Cookie! Nah, this was a servant, I think. Probably. Cookie. I don't know. He was only 4 or 5, 'cause we suck at judging human ages. And apparently was really starved and did not grow. It's coming up on 13 years ago, so he'd have grown up by now.
Sans flexed his hand around the bedpost. That bedpost is gonna get it in a moment. Yeah, that bedpost about to die. Frisk sighed, carving a design into the plush chair with her thumbnail. Don't do that, Frisk. Don't ruin the plush chair.
There's no record of the servants who came along, except the ones who were killed. We don't give a crap about the serfs in our kingdom. Wait, I know someone who was there. My mother. Do you want me to ask her?
Hell yes, I do.
Sans' hand tightened, splintering the bedpost. He guiltily released it.
Damn it, did you just splinter my bedpost?
I'm sorry, I know I splintered the bed.
You're gonna pay for that bedpost. I want a new bedpost.
Oh, come on, apprenticeship.
Yeah,
I'm gonna drink some water right now.
She's the one who told me all about monsters and what you're actually like. She's kind of a jerk, even though she's not prejudiced, apparently. She was fine with the kitchen staff abusing me like crazy, but apparently she's got nothing against monsters because she told me that you guys were all nice.
Okay. The priestess smoothed her skirt over her knees. God damn it, Maxie! Shut up! Something swirling around in its surface like smoke. Frick, not in it, on it, shoving everything back into the safe, resealing it, and thumping... I need to do that again. It did sound familiar.
I think so. Little blonde, wore her hair up.
That's her. She would have been in charge of any children they brought along, but she never mentioned any of them to me.
Frisk tapped her finger on the chair arm.
She did say there were things she wasn't allowed to talk about. She worked for the Duke as a nurse, and she would never disobey him.
He wondered for a moment if that meant the guy was Frisk's father, but was too excited to dwell on it.
What'd she say about us?
He asked curiously. Frisk hesitated.
Well, she didn't talk very much with individual monsters, but she said the Queen was very kind, and made sure to tell each of the humans how glad she was for them to visit. The king was also very courteous. He tried his best not to frighten anyone, and he thought it was rude that the servants weren't allowed to eat with the nobles.
Sans foot started tapping. She raised an eyebrow at him, and he reluctantly stopped.
Who else?
He demanded. The next moment, they both heard the office door open into the workshop. Came a plaintive voice. Frisk was at the bedroom door in an instant. What is it, Flynn? She closed the door most of the way. Damn it all to hell. Sans grumpily listened to the child explain that he'd scratched his head, and sorry, there was blood on the couch now. Frisk explained that wounds got itchy as they healed, and to please not scratch it, and that it would be much better to wipe his hands on the towel she'd put down than on the furniture. Then he had to be cleaned up again, and a bigger bandage applied, and someone was sent for to take the boy somewhere he could sleep safely. Hopefully better than whoever was beating him or whatever. A thought stabbed at him as he listened to the proceedings. That was how she knew he could teleport and zip things around without touching them. King Asgore had insisted the monsters show off their powers in various amusing ways so that the humans would be less afraid of their magic. Sans thought it was a bad idea at the time, and look what came of it. Frisk eventually came back to the bedroom, drying her hands on her skirt.
Let's cut to the chase,
Sans said quietly as she sat down.
Did she tell you about any skeletons?
Yes.
Frisk folded her hands and looked straight at him.
2 brothers, Sans and Papyrus.
Sans laced his fingers together to avoid accidentally destroying anything else.
And?
She liked them very much,
Frisk said calmly.
Especially Papyrus. Sans was friendly, but she said he watched their every move, and it made them nervous.
The priestess smoothed her skirt over her knees.
Papyrus was a joy to be around. He was very full of himself, but there wasn't a mean bone
in his body,
and he considered it his duty to welcome the humans as much as possible. My mother talked about him more than any other monster.
She coughed.
Apparently his spaghetti was terrible.
Sounds about right.
Frisk looked at him sharply.
I wanted to ask you about that, but are you all right?
Sans couldn't answer. He'd avoided thinking too much about home, especially the fact that he'd already been gone for a week when he got caught. It had been easy to tell himself that he could always bust out of here if he needed to, or that the lady would let him send a message, or even go have a quick visit before coming back here. But...
Are you Papyrus's brother?
Frisk asked.
Yeah,
he ground out. The priestess shook her head.
I don't understand. Oh, I don't understand. Mother said that Sans was shorter than... This is blowing my mind, Sans. Oh! Mother said that Sans was shorter than any of the humans who came to the underground, and the only boss monsters mentioned in the official histories are Asgore and Toriel. Can you tell me what happened? I wasn't sure if you were the same skeleton. You seem so
A lot of shit happened, that's what.
Sans lurched to his feet, and she had to tip her head back to look up at him. His sockets were glowing again.
You know what? I'm tired, and you look like crap. Time for night-night.
He jerked the door open, rattling the hinges.
Good luck cleaning up. Blood's a biatch to get out. Trust me, I know.
Wow, he got...
Trust me, I know. Get out here, get all the doggies, and wrap it up.
She rose quietly, folding her hands in the style he recognized from the very first time he'd seen her. That's ominous.
All right then, good night, Sans,
she said, and walked past him out of the room. He didn't slam the door shut behind her, but it was pretty close. Once she had control of herself again, Frisk wiped her eyes and resumed scrubbing the couch.
This is such a biatch to get out, she said. Man, he was right.
She kept glancing underneath it, and as she threw yet another towel into the laundry basket, she decided,
To hell with it!
And pulled the couch aside. A nearly invisible seam in the floor showed where a board could be pried up to access her hidden safe. There was no lid, no lock, and no key. Just a solid golden film that vanished when she pressed her thumb into its center. The High Priestess surveyed the contents. Several tight-folded papers, a bag of high-value dinar,
Come on down to the diner.
a sack of silver ingots, a few pieces of jewelry, and a small box. She selected the box and removed its rosewood lid to reveal a tiny glass orb, something swirling around on its surface like smoke. She stared at it for so long that her knees began aching, but she didn't notice. Her vision blurred again, and she jammed the lid back on the little box, shoving everything back into the safe, resealing it, thumping the floorboard into place, and pushing the couch back.
Not today!
Not today, she told herself fiercely. She didn't care what Sans said or how he acted. It couldn't be worth it. Nothing could. Okay.